In 1874, an archaeologist named Indiana Jones...
No. Now, that would have actually been funny if Indiana Jones wasn't born on July the 1st, 1899.
Austin Henry Layard.
Well, you almost killed the joke before the joke was even a joke, and then you killed it again after the joke. Good job!
Found 22,000 clay tablets hidden in the depths of an ancient city in modern-day Iraq.
Yes, that's what an archaeologist does. Still, that's a lot of clay.
These tablets contain tons of information about what is often considered the first civilization of humanity, the Sumerians.
So we're just gonna ignore the Mesopotamians? Heck, even the ancient Egyptians could give your Sumerians a run for their money. You're not really good with time, are ya? Chronologically speaking.
And the civilizations that followed, the Assyrians and the Babylonians. The tablets also describe their religion and belief systems.
Yep. Ancient's gonna ancient.
Which today we find to be the writings that predate many of the world's religions today, especially the Abrahamic ones, such as Judaism and Christianity.
Huh. So you do understand the chronological order of things. Is it just when you want to use it, or is it something you don't understand and just randomly throw in there? For shits and giggles, of course.
The Sumerian creation epic is hard to learn about, because a lot of the tablets are broken.
And speaking of throwing random things in there for shits and giggles, now I would say remember to tickle the bell and all buttons around it. However, how many times have you, yes I mean you Spiffys watching this here video, actually done the tickling of the bell and all buttons around it? On any channel, really. I mean, it disguises itself as a call to action, but it feels like it's a call to adding fluff content to a video. Now, I wouldn't mind you kicking me around in the comments section to see what's up about that. And even that is a call to action, though, isn't it? Oh well, a YouTuber's gonna YouTube. Let's get back to the spirit science fella.
But there are some renditions available of one of their most prominent creation myths.
Now I do want to shine a bright light to emphasize your abbreviation of mythos. But do go on, spirit science fella. Both Martymer and Sir Sick warned me about your fan fiction fetish, so hey ho, let's go.
The story begins with Apsu and Tiamat.
Oh boy, here we go.
The god of freshwater and saltwater. However, they are often interpreted to be primordial forces in the elementary universe.
Elementary universe is not a thing, and contrary to popular belief, we're not gonna make it a thing either. Just call it the early universe. No need to fancy up your talky bit to appease your fanatics. That's usually something people do to sound smarter by using words that sound fancy. Not to mention it was long believed that water, which consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, were basically too heavy of an element to be formed by the Big Bang alone, instead being formed in the cores of stars. It's only through recent studies which suggest it could be possible for minute amounts of water molecules to form within molecular clouds in young galaxies.
Apsu also has a vizier, whose name is Mumu. Together, Apsu and Tiamat give birth to a bunch of new gods and goddesses, usually in pairs of 2.
And this is exactly what Martymer and Sir Sick warned me about. So, you're just gonna say words now?
Of course!
You've got Lamu and Lahamu, Anshar and Kishar, and Anu and Ea.
But what about Prince Vegeta and Kakarot? For fuck's sake, man. We're not dealing with the average spirit and science fella anymore.
If my head spontaneously combusts from the overwhelming stupid, I'm blaming you.
I can't be held responsible for spirit and science fella here. I mean, he's gonna do the thing, and so might wanna get your fire department on the speed dial there, Crusader.
The kid gods are super annoying.
Oh, kids are gonna kid. There's 2 ways of dealing with that. Being an adult and
so Apsu gets all angry with them and he says he wants to kill them.
Well, there's that.
The kids find out about this.
Oh, do they now? What? Did the Infinity Glove there give it away? You just gotta snap your fingers to make the stupid go away. Why are you still here?
And go to Enki for help. Enki puts Apsu to sleep, chains up Mumu, and takes Apsu's throne.
Puts him to sleep. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Cartoonified access for eyes is dead, so you can't even cartoon correctly. Are you challenging me on an animation duel? Everyone in the universe knows I would win.
Then, Enki and his wife, who shows up out of nowhere, have a baby together named Mardu.
What the fuck is that? What, do you think that people with 2 eyes having a baby together produce a baby with 4 eyes? What the hell is going on, mate? This is just...
You know what? I'm not even mad.
Not my fault.
Who is very manly, has 4 eyes, and breathes fire.
Good job, I guess.
You're gonna be okay there, Crusader? I do believe you are on fire. And not figuratively speaking.
Grandpappy Anu gives Marduk something called the Four Winds, which sends a wave of upset to Tiamat. Mama Tiamat gets really mad and creates a bunch of monsters and basically declares war on her children.
What is it with these gods and their childlike behavior and their childlike reactions? Also, why do these kids have beards? What, do they just plop into the world all grown up?
Right, what did you say?
Well, no, for your sake and safety and for my sake and safety, we are going to refrain from repeating what he just said. Clearly, you dealing with him for so long has made you susceptible to being combustible. We're just gonna go on with what he's gonna say because, well, that's also a problem.
The gods all get together and figure out a plan, and over beer and pastries they agree that Marduk shall be their avenger.
So tell me, what does a god need with a supersuit?
Marduk and Tiamat go to war.
You know, you keep spouting this nonsense that you take this seriously and then you take it into Marvel Comics territory. So what exactly is your shtick here? Charlatanism? Because you are the embodiment of that.
Marduk ends up killing Tiamat with his windy magic and an arrow, and cuts her in half. He binds up her monster army and erects Babylon in his own honor.
Yes, because that seems like a logical conclusion to make by making up some kind of god who has a super battle in space with a super dragon, cutting him in half, founding a city which was built by humans for some reason. But no, let's just go with your really bad fan fiction of the Avengers. I mean, there's no dragons in Avengers, or four-eyed bearded fellas. What am I even watching here?
Some time passes, and then he has Enki create humans because he's just got a really good feeling about it.
So, well, the four-eyed man has created humans in his own image. I mean, we don't have four eyes, but, oh, go on, then, shall we?
And it turns out that humans make great slaves, so it works out.
What? Well, first of all, what does a god need slaves for? And second of all, what? What the hell is this guy on? And can I have some?
The story ends with Marduk getting 50 holy names, and everyone thinks he's just the best.
Now everyone around here knows I do not kink shame. So you can have your 50 shades of Marduk there, buddy boy. You know, this entire talky bit by you has been littered with breadcrumbs of I am just taking the piss by linking your silly stories to well-known fantasy realms, like various movies and series and comics, so I'm onto you, buddy. You're nothing more than a fancy storyteller, like most charlatans are. And yes, I'm pretty sure enslaving humanity makes him just the best. You utter dick flute.
Now, this story has probably been met with a lot of blank stares for a long time. Because WTF is this even talking about? But then, enter Zechariah Sitchin, the world's expert on what is often considered pseudo-history.
Oh, speaking of experts, Del and Pratt just came out of the dungeon to give you that confused stare, which is in and of itself quite the accomplishment to be sillier than them, because they are flat earthers. So, do you really rank below a flat earther? I dare say well done there, spirit-sized fella.
Who studied cuneiform growing up and came to the conclusion that the story went deeper than what most people believed.
You know, there comes a time in a boy's life when they start to make up stories. And now you found yourself an idol. Anyone can make up a story, but not everyone can make up a good story, which are stories with a good foundation. Just making up random things which do not even coincide with each other. That's not storytelling, that's ass-pulling.
He came to the conclusion that the story was not about gods at all, but planets, and some crazy stuff that went down in a distant past, long before humans even existed at all.
Must be amazing having that 2020 hindsight, eh? Let me guess, we're gonna go down the path of using the current knowledge we have to try and make all of this fit.
His interpretation goes something like this. In the birthplace of the solar system, there were several primordial bodies. One was the sun, that was King Apsu, a little orbiting body called Mercury, who was Apsu's vizier, and a watery planet called Tiamat.
Huh. Fully formed planets during the birth of our solar system. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but something seems off here.
Who orbited the sun right around where the asteroid belt is today. And I bet you can see where this is going.
Oh, I know. Straight towards Aspel Central Station, with a detour through Dipshittery Lane. I'm sure.
In the formation of the solar system, many other planets were formed. Venus and Mars were Lamu and Lahamu, Jupiter and Saturn were Anshar and Kishar, and Anu and Ea were Uranus and Neptune. These planets had crazy orbits and put Tiamat in danger.
So the formation of planets is usually dependent on gravitational pulls. How did they get some strange orbit when they are basically forming around the sun? Let me guess. They are the child gods being, well, rowdy? Or what did you say? Annoying? And someone had to kill them? You're a bit of a weirdo, aren't you?
This was the kids being super rowdy and just having way too much fun.
Huh.
Sitchin thought that Ea putting Apsu to sleep was somehow related to the sun settling its own turbulent energy during this early formation period, and that new planets had to come from outside of the solar system, thus putting Ea in charge in a way.
Now, of course, there are random orbits of smaller objects, but planets usually have very stable orbits. So, also, do you think these planets are alive or something because you are charging them with some kind of mission to recruit other planets? Have you been playing Solar 2?
And so then a new planet comes into the solar system, Marduk.
Spiffy! Did he have to fill out any immigration forms or something and maybe, you know, learn the local law and language?
This planet might have come from another solar system whose star exploded, or something like that.
Ah, I've come to notice you kinda are talking like that all the time. It's, or something like that. What if, maybe, if this happened? Do you have any evidence? No, of course not. Why the hell did I ask that?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, shut the hell up, Del. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe you should ask him about the quantifiable, measurable, and tangible evidence.
Oh, here we go. What do you want me to do? I'm quite capable.
Well, I gotta hand it to you, Del. You are more capable in terms of doing your own research when compared to Spirit Science fella here.
Because it's not scientific. It's just rubbish.
But anything you do is still wrong. The sooner you realize that, the less flat your Earth will become.
Ah?
But either way, it came into the solar system and tore some matter from Uranus's body. This was Anu giving Marduk the four winds, which were large satellites hurling around the planet.
Huh. Strange how Uranus is not tearing matter from Nibiru there, So in your fantasy universe, gravity only goes one way. But no, I'm not talking about going towards your fantasy planet. Gravity goes along with your story. How convenient.
From there, Marduk approached the inner solar system. As it passes Saturn, Marduk pulls one of Saturn's moons away from it and into space, creating Pluto.
How convenient. Oh my god, you are just one fountain of convenience, aren't you?
Which is a part of the story where Anshar, the god planet presently known today as Saturn, sends its Vizier Gaga off to visit some other gods.
Alright, that's it. Lady Gaga is now a planet as well. What the fuck is wrong with you, mate? I mean, what's the next one? Freddie Mercury going around. Hey, you totally missed that one. Freddie Mercury is going to... Why didn't... Oh. Holy hell, not only is my pareidolia much more advanced than these utter dick flutes I sentenced to become just as immortal as silly, I even outclass Spirit Science fella in fancy storytelling. Oh my, you are a dick flute, aren't you?
Then, Marduk keeps going and lines up really well to collide with Tiamat. Goody.
Yes, oh goody. You know, now you're starting to bore me, buddy boy. You are, well, in internet terms, just a troll, trolling the masses who actually follow you. You're not interested in telling an actual story, you're just telling a story because you're taking the piss out of the internet. Oh boy, how does it feel being exposed like that? God damn it, this is just too silly for words. Well, turns out you even flustered Pratt here, and he is my control for letting people into the Order of the Sillies. I'm not sure. Do I have to ask permission of the Pratt to let you into the dungeon? Because, oh, Jordan, what are you doing? You just let a flirt like Pratt outclass you?
Marduk's gravity causes Tiamat to release a number of monsters, satellites of its own.
What the fuck is that? Do you think that if a planet goes past another planet, it starts pulling rocks from that planet? That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Go play Kerbal Space Program.
Which kind of acts like a really bad shield. One of these is really big, and later becomes the moon. It's a close call, but these whirling winds smash into Tiamat and tear her almost in two. Marduk sails off into space, but is now destined to return to the scene of this event, its orbit locked in around the sun.
Mate, if a planet-sized object is in an orbit around the sun at that distance, when it comes close to the sun, it has to make some kind of extreme turn in its orbit. It's gonna tear itself apart. That's just utter horseshit there. It's not possible to have an orbit like that with a massive body on the scale of a planet.
Then, thousands of years pass and eventually, Marduk once again smashes into Tiamat, tearing her in two again. And this time, one large chunk makes its way into the position where it is today. A bunch more time passes, and boom shakalaka, this chunk eventually becomes the Earth.
It positions itself. So, you know, a massive body like Nibiru here, moving into our solar system, is not going to upset any of the orbits of the other planets or the moons or the asteroids in our solar system. I mean, that's not how it works. That's not how... I already said that. And it's not how any of this works. Also, I'm done with you, buddy. You have still a few minutes more in your video. I am not going to waste my time on that. Maybe for a second part of this spirit science nonsense horseshittery. And on that note, I sentence you to become a jester in the Order of the Sillies. Not only because you are one of the silliest creatures on the internet I've ever seen, but also because you are fake. I have a song for you. It's called Po Ho 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 Ho. And for you Spiffies, remember to tickle the bell and all buttons around it, and I will see you in the next video. Maybe Spirit Science Fella is gonna be featured in the next video. Part 2. I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments if you want to see more of this guy. Oh boy. Bye-bye. Well, at least his video production is off the charts.
You know, there is no pushback.
It's you that keeps saying it. No me.
Everything. Whoa!